straight from the horse's mouth. Our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from thrasherswheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young news and another giant harvest of fresh wheat rolling in. Bushels and bushels, hay bales and hay bales of fresh wheat in every direction. Well, this past week we had 4 solo shows of Neil Young in Boston and Philadelphia. And by all accounts, these solo shows continue to stun, amaze, and literally reduce grown men to tears. So by now, folks have seen the set list, maybe caught some YouTubes, read some reviews, heard the streams on Rust Radio, checked out the sets on Sugar Mountain. And while the set list and format are somewhat similar to what we saw and heard at Carnegie Hall beginning in January, significant differences. The sets still contain some of those familiar classics, Something for Everyone, like The Heart of Gold and Old Man, but significantly, of course, new songs as well. 3 new songs have been introduced into the set list. I'm Glad I Found You, Plastic Flowers, When I Watch You Sleeping. Now, just as an aside on all this, while we were up in Philadelphia this week for shows with our good traveling buddy and tour manager, Hounds That Howl, we can't begin to tell you how many folks took us aside to ask us our opinion and thoughts on the whole Neil, Peggy, Daryl situation. And really the only thing that we could say is listen to the songs. That's more than we could ever provide in terms of an insight as to what's going on. Neil has said many times his life is an open book. You can read it on the radio. It's all up there on stage. It's in his music. It just is flowing right out. And to try and speculate on everything is an exercise in futility from our perspective. Listen to the music if you want to know what's going on. We always say that here at Thrashers Wheat. But anyway, we have the set lists and links and so on up on the blog, so check that out. And naturally, for us, the highlight, the encore, the return of Thrasher. 36 years. It's been 36 years since we first heard the song Thrasher played in 1978 on the Rust Never Sleeps tour. One of our greatest concert memories. Never really thought we might ever hear the song again, and we did. So life is good. Life is really good, and it was a joy and a privilege to be able to share that with so many up there in Philadelphia. The Thursday night or Wednesday night performance was pretty close to flawless. Lyrics all sung perfectly, and right harmonica, and everything worked out. It's apparently a pretty complicated song, but we put our thoughts up on the blog on all that, so you can check that out, and along with a video and so on, and some comments. So check it out. Drop a comment. It was great to see everybody up there in Philadelphia. Love you guys. And we'll see you down the road on that. So the last thing we'll mention here was that Neil Young was in rare form, and we always say that because he usually is in rare form, but by all accounts, in terms of the audience interaction, you really would have to go back to almost the early days for the amount of audience interaction that was going on in Philadelphia that we heard. We all know about people in the audience yelling out stuff and how that all goes down at concerts. But it was somewhat interesting, and we don't want to belabor this and certainly encourage the behavior. But Neil seemed to be responding to a lot of stuff that was coming at him from the audience. He usually tends to ignore it, and we'll just make note of an audience member yelling out Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young between songs. And Neil's response to that was, "Never again." Just another aside from the chatter was before Neil Young went into a cover of Gordon Lightfoot's "If You Could Read My Mind." He discussed the recording of A Letter Home in the recording booth, and paying tribute to some of the great singer-songwriters such as Gordon Lightfoot, Tim Hardin, Phil Oakes. And someone in the audience shouted out, "John Lennon." And Neil responded that to the effect of, he can't cover everyone. He has to leave something to look forward to. And that sums up a lot of Neil Young's philosophy, if you will, about the covers and the tributes to the greats, and leaving something to look forward to. Okay, so we'll just wrap up here with the other major news is a new album coming out that we've been talking about here over the past weeks. The album Storytone. It now has a release date of November 4th. Album cover art has been posted, and the track listing with all of the variations and so on have all been announced, and we have that up on the blog. So check that out. Once again, in the field of opportunity, we have much to look forward to and much to be thankful for. And again, to everybody that we caught up there in Philadelphia, it's great to see everyone. We'll see you down the road. If we missed you, sorry about that. It's, as always, it's always just too short, but for those that we did catch up with, it was great. Love you guys. Thanks for all the feedback and support and hugs and the love, and it's what it's all about on the road to Neil. Okay, well, back over to Tony and Eric at WBKM.